Welcome to the Shay. Leeds Rhinos against Halifax Blue Sox. Not a happy hunting ground for the Rhinos. Their only win coming here last season. They line up number 1, Francis Cummins, 14, Mark Calderwood, 5, Chev Walker. Returning from Great Britain duty is number 4, Keith Senior, number 2, Carl Pratt, 13, Kevin Sinfield, and 7, Ryan Sheridan. The 5th Lion, Barry McDermott, is ruled out through a back injury, and so it's 18, Danny Ward, 9, Matt Diskin, and 12, Matt Adamson making up the front row. And the second row, announced earlier in the week, he's rejoining his former club Brisbane Broncos, number 3, Tony Carroll, 11, Andy Hay, and number 15, Adrian Vowles. The bench, 16, Willie Poaching, 21, Jamie Jones.
Thanksville, the Halifax team this afternoon, being led out, and it's probably one of the biggest crowds at the Shea this season. And Halifax will be welcome of the revenue. And there'll be more to come in the next couple of weeks, with St Helens here next Friday, and then 2 weeks after the visit from the Bulls, Halifax have to do it tough against 3 top 6 teams. It's Castleford in between them. Their team this afternoon: Jason Flowers at fullback, Colm Alpany, David Wood, Stuart Donlands, Roppy Becky the 3/4, Duneman and Clint at the half-backs. Clint back in the starting lineup after being on the bench at Salford. Jim Gannon is the captain, Sean Penkovic and Chris Birchall the front row, Shane McMenemy, Jamie Bloom, Andrew Brocklehurst at the back row forwards, Andy Hobson, John Lawless, Jamie Thackeray and Ryan Clayton on the bench. Robert Connolly signals for Kevin Sinfield to get the match underway with a long high kick. Quickly gives it on to McMenemy, who crawls his way 15 metres from the Halifax line. Birchall running up strongly. Hard tackle from Andy A. Jim Gannon. Halifax making good yards forward despite the solid tackling of the Leeds defence. Slow to get up there, Duneman, who was masterful against Salford last week. Hands it on to Bloom, who takes it over the 40. Quick play the ball, Penkovic back inside to Gannon.
Still inside their own half. Pratt finds Danny Ward up over the halfway line. Good run in there from the young prop. Diskin finds Sinfield. Sinfield has Adamson on his shoulder, but he's brought down just over the 40-metre line. Diskin goes his own from dummy half, looking for runners now. Still going Diskin. Tucked inside, Duneman grabs the ball and pulls him to the deck. Good field position now from Leeds. This is Sheridan. Sheridan dummies, looks to go himself. He's brought down 8 metres short. Hay at dummy half again. Vowles has Senior outside him. Senior tries to get out of the first tackle by Dave Woods, and it's then pulled into touch. Excellent work by the Halifax defence. Woods and Clinch combining to drag Keith Senior into touch.
Tremendous tackling from the Halifax defence. Halifax built the platform on for the victory in the second half at the Willows last week. I'm sure they'll have to do a lot of hard work this afternoon. Leeds will show more potency in the attack that Salford did. There's no disrespect to Salford at all, but Senior, Carroll, both huge centres. Gannon manages to unload to Brocklehurst, playing at loose forward in the place of the injured Carl Hammond. He's driven back to the 30-metre line. Duneman out to Flowers. Flowers to Beckett. Beckett does well to take it one-handed and then goes down before being dragged over the touchline. Birchall drives it forward up towards halfway on the last tackle. Halifax have done well to bring the ball back. Flynn steps, then tries to chip through. Connolly waves play on. Duneman looks inside, kicks the ball across field. That might just, the bounce might just take it over the touchline. Well, Halifax managed to get away with it there. Leeds seemed to stand still, and Duneman carried on playing to the whistle. Just a shame the kick was a little bit too hard.
Yeah, open up there, clinch the initial kick, and then followed up by Duneman, kick to the corner, and Leeds were at 6s and 7s. No real organisation there, but the kick too heavy, goes into touch, and so Leeds have head and feed with Ryan Sheridan. Leeds did well there for 5 out of the 6 tackles, but went asleep on the last one and it nearly cost them dear. This is there by Chris Birchall. Ward picks up, goes in his own from dummy half, up over the 40-metre line before he's eventually brought down. Diskin finds Sheridan, then on to Simford in centre field. He finds Matt Adamson. Adamson, great tackle by Andrew Doonerman. Sinfield picks up one-handed, then kicks through into the corner, chases on by Mark Calderwood. Run back there by Stuart Donald, who takes it out, puts underneath his own posts.
Steve Linnane playing the tactics he used at Salford last week, whereby Donlan drops to the full-back position when Halifax are on defence. Flowers moving up with that little bit of extra weight to make up the extra man in defence, but Halifax cough it up and now we'll have to defend again.
Coming up on the second tackle there, this is Diskin using McMenemy as a blocker. Hay onto Senior. 3 men on him. Diskin now finds Sheridan to Adamson under the shadow of the sticks as he drives it upfield, 12 metres out from the Halifax line. This is Sinfield dummies first time, then finds Tony Carroll. Excellent tackle there by Flowers on Tony Carroll, stopping a definite try. Wild pass from Sinfield. Sheridan has to chase back and Clinch gets the tackle in. Leeds lose nearly 25 metres on the attack. Calderwood finds Hay. Hay spinning in the tackle, still going, looking to offload. Tony Carroll coming into the game with a neck injury. Leeds awarded a penalty. Hand coming in from the Blue Sox. Tony Carroll down his haunches in back play. Well, he had a neck injury that was subject to a fitness test yesterday to make him eligible for the game. And that first drive for the line there seems to have made a reoccurrence of that injury. Kevin Sinfield lining up the kick. The second choice kicker behind Ben Walker, not selected today. And so Sinfield, fresh from his try for Great Britain last week against Australia, looks to add 2 more points to his Leeds tally. About 10 metres in from touch, 18 out. Firm contact and right between the sticks. So Leeds lead 2-0. Clinch now to get the game restarted. Kicks to the corner, Vowles is underneath it, Pratt behind him. Vowles takes it first time, then finds Danny Ward. He runs it up at Shane McMenemy, Irish international, who pulls him down. Balls come out. Was it a knock on? No. Reefed out, says referee Robert Conley. Touch judge signalling to the referee for the penalty. Kevin Sinfield to kick to touch. Empty stand on the far side here at the shape. Sheridan finds Adamson. He's brought down just short of halfway. Diskin now finds Sinfield, has Chev Walker outside him. Walker now takes it up, 45 out from the Halifax line. Diskin to Adamson. Adamson driving it up. Good hard yards from Matt Adamson there, former Penrith Panther. Sheridan now goes behind Vowles. Pratt will have to pick up, he does, and comes across from off his wing. Still going, Pratt. Scored a try on his debut for Great Britain last week, Carl Pratt. Looking to cement his place in this Rhino side. Adamson brought down the 20 metre. Good tackling, good defence from Halifax, as they've shown all match so far. Sheridan finds Vowles out to Senior. Senior tries a flick over to Pratt as the tackles are coming in, but good solid line of defence from Halifax, holding strong.
Halifax pull back from trying to take a quick tap in field. Connolly not happy with the marking where the tap was taken. Signals Halifax back to the 10-metre mark. Buchanan's brought down on the 20. Now Birchill. Chev Walker moving in first. Birchill unloads to Donlan. And that's given us a knock on. Oh, I don't think so.
Robert Connolly giving a knock on. 20 metres out from the Halifax line. Good field position now for Leeds. The Halifax fans calling for acknowledging the knock on there. Seem to go behind Donlan. This is Carroll. Drives it up. He's brought down. 19 out from the Halifax line. Vows at dummy half. Finds Chev Walker. Chev Walker driving it up. Good yards from the young centre. Growing in confidence every game, Chev Walker. It's returning to the centres. Sheridan run out of time and space there. Diskin now has Sinfield outside him, comes the other way though through Adamson and Vowles. Vowles to Chev Walker. Chev Walker takes it at the second attempt. Picked up. Sheridan now brought down. 5 out from the Halifax line. Diskin finds Sinfield. Sinfield puts the kick through. Danny Ward's offside. He can't chase it. It's too strong from Sinfield. And Halifax will get to come out with the ball.
Beckett on the quick tap. Can't get away from Andy here. Beckett never even made 10 metres there. Gannon driving the ball forward, looking to release, and he does to Penkovic. Penkovic unable to take advantage. Halifax supporters becoming very vocal, I think, about the 10 metres that Leeds are attempting to make. Penkovic to Duneman. Duneman brings Gannon back on the inside. On the Leeds 40. Slowing the play down. Clinch. Kick towards the corner for Alpeny to chase. Alpeny never going to get there though, but Halifax have got to the other end of the field. And will feel relieved that Leeds didn't score when they were at the other end.
Quick play of the balls from Halifax there, getting a roll on. Good work from Beckett first of all. The kick just too strong, going at a touch. Carl Pratt had well covered. Vowles finds Seniors coming off his centre. He's brought down. 17 out from his own line. That's where this set of 6 will start from. Chev Walker. Danny Ward now, driving it up. Andy Hay looking for runners. He's overrun Sinfield. Sinfield onto Vowles. Vowles throws it backwards. Pratt picks up eventually after 2 bounces. Still going Carl Pratt. Brought down. 45 out from his own line. Sinfield. Well, whilst the Halifax fans were calling for a forward pass, they're further incensed by a referee giving a high shot on Kevin Sinfield. It was against Colm Halpenny. So Sinfield elects to go for the posts. Jim Gannon comes over to have a word with the referee. Been a football pitch here. It's slightly shorter than normally expected, so on the actual pitch 43 metres out from Sinfield, probably more like 40 metres out. Sinfield teeing it up about 5 metres in from touch. Still a very difficult kick. Already got one today. Looking to add his second. Certainly got the distance. Has it got the direction? No, it hasn't. But goes dead, so Halifax will drop out. Good drop out there from Duneman. Goes the full length of the pitch. Cummins picks it up just inside his 10. This is Chev Walker. Still going. Chev Walker gets the ball away to Ryan Sheridan. Did well to slip the hand out of the tackle there from McMenemy. This is Vowles. Diskin now. Finds Adamson. He drives it up. 42 out now from the Halifax line. Scrappy. This is Simfield. 35 out from the Halifax line. Hay. He's met by strong defence and pulled down. 29 out. Last tackle now for the Rhinos. Diskin to Simfield to Sheridan. Sheridan has Vowles running round. Vowles onto Carroll. Carroll has Calderwood outside if he can find him. Calderwood looking to go in the corner. And a try given for Calderwood. Halifax trying to drag him out into touch, but Calderwood manages to ground the ball, and Leeds score the first try of the day. And the home fans not happy with that. Booing for referee Robert Conley, claiming there was forward passes in the build-up. Leeds playing a very flat line. And so Halifax to get the game restarted through Clinch. Kicks to the same corner again. This time it's Pratt that collects, finds Danny Ward. He has a good 10-metre run before he's met by any defence. Diskin now. Finds Vowles, has Cummins outside him, just takes the tackle. Good completion rate so far from Leeds. The only exception when Keith Senior was dragged into touch early on. Diskin finds Sheridan. Sheridan kicks ahead. The chase is on by Mark Calderwood. Can it stay in field? It can do. Donlan is running backwards. Calderwood and Chev Walker there. Catch the man in front of the post. Tremendous chase by Chev Walker.
The Leeds of Halifax have finally got possession. Halifax have finally got a penalty. Leeds yards offside. Well, I think from the earlier reaction of the crowd, not for the first time, but Robert Conley is not averse to overlooking forward passes. Neither are the officials that are around this crowd. He's missed 3 to my knowledge. So Halifax are really up against it again this afternoon. McMenemy to Birchill, and Birchill almost felt the weight of Adams's arm around him. Leeds slowing the play down. Duneman to Brocklehurst. Turned on his back by Sheridan on the Leeds 40. Gannon, route 1 up the middle. Took 3 to stop him. He's made about 10 metres. Clinch to Duneman. McMenemy linking up in a centre position. Kicks through and it's picked up by Carl Pratt. Wasted possession there really by Halifax, a speculator, but nothing difficult for Leeds.
Kept his cool there, Carl Pratt. Ball slightly bubbled, but kept his eye on it. Dragged it in and took the tackle. This is Keith Senior. Spins in the tackle from Clinch. Diskin to Ward. Ward juggles it, then collects and takes it up over the 40-metre line. Good running from Ward. He's had a strong opening quarter to this game. In the absence of Barry McDermott doing a lot of the hard work out there. Chev Walker gets the ball back to Simfield. Simfield to Francis Cummins. On to Tony Carroll. Carroll coming inside. Carroll, although named in the second row, seems to be playing very much in the centre out there. He's down again. Sheridan puts the kick in. It's collected there by Woods.
There's certainly something wrong with Tony Carroll. That's twice he's got up struggling. Halifax have got a second penalty. Saying twice, Tony Carroll has got up struggling after a big tackle. He's playing on. Halifax are back in the Leeds half. Can they make anything out of this 6 tackles? Gannon, it's a solid wall with his first run up. Benkovic at acting half. Duneman, Birchall. Halifax not making any ground forward. Birchall being driven back. Halifax looking to test this Leeds defence as Clinch goes into Adamson, 18 metres away from the Leeds line. Benkovic to Duneman quickly acting half. Duneman a long pass out wide to Donlan. Big gap there for Donlan. Too late for Cummins and Senior to react. And Donlan couldn't believe it. I don't think the size of the gap that opened up in front of him. Senior waited for Cummins. Cummins waited for Senior, and by the time they both reacted, Donlan was getting the ball down. Second try in a week for Stuart Donlan. Well, it's probably the first time that Halifax have really threatened that Leeds Rhinos line and come up with the points. Duneman again involved inevitably, and it was his pass that put Donlan into a perfect gap. And Halifax hit back with a try. Sinfield missed, of course, 2 shots at goal, a penalty, and couldn't convert Calderwood's try. And here he is kicking off again with a high lofted kick. Senior gets up, but Donlan gives it to McMenemy. And McMenemy gets to the 10-metre line, brought down by Vowles. Alperney takes it up another 5 metres. Halifax get another penalty. And Clinch will bang the ball down the touchline again. That's a good kick from Clinch. It puts Halifax into Leeds territory again. Halifax looking to build. McMenemy, first man in. Brushes away the first attempted tackle of Adrian Vowles. Can't escape Senior. Gannon nowhere to run. The Leeds defence advancing very quickly up towards Jim Gannon. Duneman. Halifax trying to move it out wide. Brocklehurst against Sheridan, almost through. Tony Carroll there, the second man in just to help Sheridan out. Duneman to Clinch. Long ball out to McMenemy. Again, Vowles dropping off the tackle, but Andy A coming in to finish off Shane McMenemy. Kick through from Clinch. Duneman chasing. Pressure on Tony Carroll. Leeds forced to drop out under the post. Halifax will get the possession back and look to retain it for the next 6. Robert Connolly having a word with Andy Hay for some reason. Leeds not in a rush to drop out, and I don't think Robert Connolly has actually stopped the clock yet. Well, Leeds wasting a lot of time. Connolly opting not to put his hands up to stop the clock. Birchall will bring it back to the Leeds 40. Good run by Birchall. Carrying the ball some 22 metres there. Bloom unloads to Benkovic, but the ball goes forward after the bounce. The Leeds will get possession.
Well, Halifax had mounting pressure there on Leeds and really should have been looking to complete there. Leeds were creaking. Big hole from the try, but as it is, they've handed territory back to Leeds, and this is Keith Senior. Doesn't make many yards there as he's pulled down to the deck. Sheridan to Vowles, has Sinfield outside him, takes the ball up himself, does well. Dummy gains him an extra 5 metres. McMenemy had the second bite at him. Sinfield takes the ball up himself, up to the 40-metre line. Pratt finds Ward. Ward brought down just shy of the 20-metre line. Diskin to Adamson. Adamson has come in to one side, Sheridan the other, just takes it over. Still going, Matty Adamson. Brought down 6 metres short. Great run there from the Leeds prop. This is Sheridan. Has Carroll outside him. Carroll well tackled there. Excellent tackle. Caldwell at dummy half. Finds Sheridan. Sheridan inside border, Chev Walker. Tries to get the offload away there. High shot by Brocklehurst. Misses. This is Diskin. Diskin switches direction. It's the last tackle. Sheridan has the ball in hand, puts the kick through. Looks like it might be a bit too long. No. Well taken. Excellent defence there from Halifax. Diffusing the bomb. Enabling to come out from their own line.
I don't think that was the best of kick from Leeds to trouble Alpenet. The kick along the ground would cause more problems. Here comes Thackeray. He'll run it up all day. Brushes away the first tackler. Still trying to drive his way out of the next two. John Lawless also coming on for Jamie Bloom. Duneman out to Flowers. Flowers being dragged towards the touchline by Calderwood and Carroll. Manages to go down. And Carroll having problems again. And he seems to get up a little bit slower every time, does Tony Carroll. Well, I think the Leeds bench have finally realised it and are quickly stripping down one of the replacement. Here goes Woods. Woods brings Alpenny on the inside. Alpenny just can't get the pass away. Good play. Woods drawing the defence across. Last tackle, Clinch drills it across. And that's as good as a pass for Ryan Sheridan. Right under the Leeds post.
Good take by Sheridan, brought down by Lawless. Lawless gets a second tackle, going for his third, but misses Calderwood. Calder though is brought down, still inside his own 10, looked like a knock on. Senior pushes away from the first tackle. Manages to anchor himself down before he's dragged into touch. Willie Poaching on for Leeds, Tony Carroll going off. So Chev Walker will move back to the centres. Sheridan now chips through into centre field. In between the two wingers. Poaching's first up there. Beckett picks up. Goes round Poaching. Andy Hay pushed off the first tackle. Poaching misses it. Ward needs to get the tackle in.
Tremendous run from Beckett, beating the first two. Poaching was never going to have him on pace, but Andy Hay was brushed aside, and here goes Thackeray again up to halfway. Good effort from the Halifax replacement, Gannon. Poaching went out of the blocks then. Gannon had to step inside. He went into the arms of Sinfield. Clinch to Duneman. Duneman long ball out to Woods. Pratton Senior up very quickly on David Woods then. Duneman from acting half. Gets it to Donlan. Great ball to Penkovic. And Penkovic is hammered by the tackle from Sinfield. Leeds on the counter-attack.
Mark Calderwood now pushing away. Great tackle there by Kevin Sinfield. Dishing out a bit of what the Aussies gave Great Britain last week. Kevin Sinfield showing what he's learnt. Big hit there, rocked the ball out. Good defence also from Carl Pratt in that previous set of 6. Andy Hay breaks through the initial tackle, then it's pulled down by McMenemy. Sheridan finds Vowles. Vowles inside border Cummins. Cummins avoids a head-high shot. Vowles now to Sheridan. Around the back of Adamson, finds Sinfield. Sinfield puts the gas down. Back to Poaching. Poaching still going. 15 out from the Halifax line. Diskin goes to the short side, then comes back across, looking for runners. Finds Francis Cummins. He throws the ball backwards. Goes out to Carl Pratt. Carl Pratt scores in the corner, but the touch judge says it was knocked on by Francis Cummins.
Leeds threatening again. Halifax holding out, courtesy some Leeds sloppy handling and some good defending. Flowers trying to drive it out, give his forwards time to get in position, but Halifax has opted to run with Duneman, who's dragged all over by the Leeds defence, lets the ball go and gives it back to Leeds. Perhaps would have been better going into touch.
Great work there by Adamson, Walker and Calderwood working together. So that means Leeds have the ball now. Hay goes on to the high shot of McMenemy. This is Vowles. McMenemy goes high again. Vowles eventually brought down just short of the 20-metre line. Senior to Sheridan. Inside border Danny Ward. Ward bumps out of the first tackle of Clinch, but there's 2 other Blue Sox there to pull him down. Diskin now to the short side through Vowles. Misses out Senior. Finds Carl Pratt. Carl Pratt ducks under the first tackle to score. Excellent stuff from Carl Pratt. Gets the Leeds second try. So both wingers scoring for Leeds now. Calderwood down one wing, Pratt down the other. He was denied a try for a knock-on by Francis Cummins in the last set of 6. Tremendous defence by Leeds, by Adamson, Calderwood and Chev Walker produced the ball, and then Carl Pratt shrugged off the first tackle and powered his way over. The only other recognised kicker out there is Francis Cummins, although Matt Adamson can also kick goals. I would have thought Leeds will persevere with Sinfield for the time being anyway. 3 very difficult kicks are the ones he's missed. Look, he's missing them in front of the goals. Vowles collects the kick-off, finds Ward. Ward makes a good 5 metres on the charge. Diskin to Adamson. He's worked very hard this first half, Matt Adamson. Carl Pratt now, still going Pratt, still going. Brought down, just short of the 40-metre line. Appealing for the penalty, not given. Sheridan going for the 40-20. He's going to have too much legs on it. And we'll go dead in goal. And so Leeds get to defend inside the Halifax half.
Well, the kick only just too deep. Gathering with the first drive back towards the Leeds defence. Last 2 or 3 minutes of the first half. Halifax trailing by 10 points to 4. Lawless is brought down by Sinfield and Sheridan on the Halifax 40. Thackeray off the short ball, direct route up the middle, takes him almost to halfway. Benkovic uses Brocklehurst on the short side. Solid tackle from Poaching. Duneman to Clinch. Clinch the little chip over the top for Woods to chase. Woods has got it. Woods will give it to Donlan. Second try for Donlan. And Clinch, well, the gap closed up as Clinch tried to get through. No obstruction, but Woods heading onto it. Perhaps could have scored himself and selfishly gave it to Stuart Donlan. Second of the match for Stuart Donlan. And in an eminently kickable position for Gavin Clinch, he should be able to tie the scores. Well, the possession and pressure that Leeds have put on Halifax in this first half should have seen them with a lot more points for now, but Halifax have hung in there in a crucial time to score for the Blue Sox right before half time. Brought them back to within 2 points. And Leeds, you could say, have been a bit fortuitous with the where the referee Robert Connolly has handled the game. And Clinch conversion from just to the left hand side of the upright. Halifax move into double figures and join Leeds. It's now Halifax Blue Sox 10, Leeds Rhinos 10. Brilliant kick from Clinch, couldn't get to it to retrieve it, but David Woods could. Scampering through the line at full speed. And Donlan on his shoulder to touch down. Easy kick for Clinch. Halifax still well and truly in this game at 10 points all. As McMenemy is taken down by Poaching on the 10-metre line. Thackeray, always something expected now when Thackeray gets the ball, but this time the Leeds defence moving to close him down. Duneman to Lawless, away from Sheridan, can't shake off Chev Walker. Benkovic to Gannon, charging into the tackle of Danny Ward. Clinch to Donlan, and Donlan loses a possession when Halifax may have had options on that far side then. There was a 3-2, Duneman was waiting for it, but the mistake was made, and can Halifax hold out for the time that remains in the first half?
Yeah, not long left in the half, and Leeds will be looking to recover that lead they've had for the whole course of the first half. Vowles finds Sinfield, fires it round the back to Senior. Senior tackled by Duneman. Poaching up to the 20 metre line, gets the ball away to Diskin. He has Sheridan on to Andy Hay. Hay stepping through the tackle. Sheridan again finds Ward. Ward jinks in his run. He's up to within 5 metres of the Halifax line. Good position here for Leeds. Sheridan, dummy to Sinfield, then finds Poaching. Poaching looking to get the offload away. Lawless is on hand, and Lawless does well to wrap the ball up.
Well, desperate play from Leeds there. Poaching trying to keep the ball alive. He'd already done it earlier in the tackle count. That'll be 6 more to Halifax as Poaching tried to steal the ball. McMenemy struggling to his feet. Penkovic goes from acting half, and Diskin is alert, and it's a good job for Leeds that he was. Rolls all over the top of Penkovic, trying to slow it down. Here comes Thackeray. Poaching around him. And the ultrasounds for the end of the first half, which Leeds perhaps should have been winning convincingly, the amount of possession they've had. They scored first with a penalty from Sinfield, and then a few minutes later Calderwood with a try after Robert Connolly appeared to miss a forward pass earlier in the piece. Sinfield couldn't convert from the touchline, couldn't convert a penalty from 40 metres out. Halifax hit back with the first try from Stuart Donlan through a gaping hole after Cummins and Senior failed to respond. Then Carl Pratt went off perhaps a suspiciously forward pass, judging by the reaction of the Halifax supporters. Halifax hit back again after Leeds had had a lot of possession with another Donlan try after a clinch kick through and David Wood's collection. Clinch with an easy conversion. Halifax back in the game, playing towards their own supporters in the second half of the Che. Halifax Blue Sox 10, Leeds Rhinos 10.
Well, both teams back out for the second half. Matt Diskin having a discussion with referee Robert Conley. No changes to the Rhinos side for the start of the second half. Leeds still with Jamie Jones, Buchanan, Danny Maguire and Ryan Bailey on the bench. As Clinch gets the game back underway. Fielded by Vowles, on to Danny Ward. He tries it up. 18 out from his own line. Diskin finds Adamson. Adamson comes back where the first tackle was made. Tackled by McMenemy. This is Vowles again. Hay. Direct running style of Hay. Takes it up over the 40 metre line. Leeds still inside their own half. Sheridan kicks ahead. Chases on from Beckett. Picks it up on his own goal line.
Beckett has work to do. Leeds defenders advancing very quickly towards him. We're closing him down before he can get into his stride. Flowers away from acting half. Good tackling. I think that's like Chev Walker's taking a bang on the head for his troubles in that last tackle. Gannon has to pick that one out of the air and continues his run up towards halfway. Halifax have made good progress so far. Thackeray trying to step inside, pumping the legs. Last tackle, Leeds just inside the Halifax just inside the Rhinos half. Dunham drill one down into the corner, looking to force Cummins to play it out.
Cummins takes it up to just short of his own 10 metre line. Tackled by Lawless. Calderwood gets the ball away to Pratt. He tries to go around Clinch. No way through though. Diskin finds Andy Hay. Hay onto Senior. Senior spins to the tackle. Is brought down there by Colm Halpenny. This is Carl Pratt though. Runs it straight out. Makes a good 10 metres there. Diskin to Sheridan. Looking for a 40-20. No, it's gone straight down centre field. Bounces and is fielded there by Stuart Donlan, who's just able to watch it roll out. And so Halifax get the tap on the 20.
Well, Donlan leaving it, probably thinking that bringing the ball back to the 20 would have been further than he'd got had he run the ball. Gannon off the short pass, ball back to Penkovic, who almost got away. Good tracking by Poaching, Lawless from acting half. Poaching slowed him down with a shoulder charge, finished off by Chev Walker. Halifax back up almost to halfway. Dunham brings Thackeray back on the inside, goes without the ball. Robert Connolly says it's play on, but it was 3-on-1, ball comes loose and he's given the knock on. Well, Leeds immediately giving Halifax the ball back, which they felt they should have had anyway. At least a penalty there after the ball was reached out from Thackeray in a 3-on-1 tackle. Dunham down the outside of Cummins, but Cummins has the pace. Bring down Andrew Dunham and Alpenin off the wing to feed it onto McMenemy, who takes Leeds back into Rhinos territory. Thackeray away from Vowles. Vowles at the second attempt after Adamson had grabbed the legs. Gannon. No doubt about it this time. Gannon lost the ball. Leeds come with a counter-attack. Andy A not alert. Senior has to pick it up and run it.
Keith Senior breaks through the first tackle by Woods, but eventually pulled down by Woods and McMenemy in combination. This is Andy Hay up to the 40-metre line. Diskin now has Sheridan outside, still going Matt Diskin, making good yards. The Leeds hooker still going. Eventually brought down Stuart Donlan, and 2 or 3 attempts at that ball. It came loose. It was too tempting for him. And so Kevin Sinfield will have a penalty attempt, 31 metres out. So Sinfield to give Leeds the lead again. 10-all at the moment. And this time he's got his sights set and adds the penalty, and so Leeds lead 12 points to 10. Very much how the first half started. Early penalty for Leeds. Kick across the ground as Senior picks it up. Tries it, goes straight through McMenemy. Keith Senior running downfield, has to beat Donald and Clinch, comes back inside, still going, finds Kevin Sinfield. Sinfield, it's a race for the post. Fantastic tackle on Sinfield. He's brought down 2 metres short. Carl Pratt at dummy half finds Matt Diskin. Diskin trying to shrug off the first tackle, gets the ball back. Sinfield again, finds Chev Walker. Johnny Lawless knocks down. Sinfield picks up again. It's another set of 6 for Leeds. This is Willie Poaching. Leeds will be desperate to score here. Well inside Halifax territory. The ball's come out from Willie Poaching, and Halifax will get to come away.
Well, the second half beginning just as the first did with a Sinfield penalty. Leeds putting the pressure on and not coming up with the points. Should have scored there, without a doubt. But Halifax breathe again and come away with it. Here comes Thackeray, away from the first 2. Pushes away Chev Walker, gets it to Penkovic. And Penkovic to Dunham. Dunham trying to find an opening, throws a stray pass out. Sinfield could have been first to it there. That was dangerous from Dunham. Trying to keep it alive. Beckett manages to retrieve the situation for Halifax as Gannon goes forward. Good tackling downstairs. Gannon gets up, tries to continue. Penkovic to Clinch. Clinch drills through on the floor again. Chase for Cummins and Dunham. Cummins wins it. Clinch makes the tackle.
Some composure there from Francis Cummins. The game's gone up a gear in the last 10 minutes or so. 5 minutes rather. This is Diskin, finds Vowles. Vowles stepping across. Well, golden opportunity for Leeds there. Lost. Diskin. Short ball to Ward. Ward knocks on. Second knock on for Ward in this half. As Jamie Jones Buchanan prepares to come on for Leeds, and it's Willie Poaching making way.
Will Leeds blow another chance? And Halifax will feed the scrum. Jim Gannon appeared to be leaving the field, but changed his mind. Rejoins the pack. Flynn feeds. Dunham brings Flowers on the inside. Good tackle from Vowles and Sinfield off the back of the scrum on the Halifax 40. Dunham switches play back to Clinch. Clinch to McMenemy. McMenemy can't shake off Brian Sheridan and Andy Hay. Halifax still on the 40. David Woods coming on the inside on the angled run. Still only manages to make 2 or 3 metres. Tackled by Vowles and James Buchanan. Jones Buchanan. Dunham dropping the shoulder, looking for the gap. Made more in one tackle, and Blue Sox having the last 3. Flawless use to the short side. Donlan kicks. Comes off a Leeds player, but I think it's unintentionally, so Leeds will get the put-in at the scrum.
Indeed it is. So both teams fairly loose with the ball so far this second half. Only the 1 penalty from Sinfield, the difference. Chev Walker gets the ball from the base of the scrum. Sheridan at dummy half. Adamson out, driving up to the halfway line. Ward looking to make amends. Makes a good 8 metres. Diskin finds Sheridan onto Sinfield. Sinfield goes round the back to find Jamie Jones. Still going Jones, brought down 30 metres out. Sinfield down the short side through Chev Walker. He comes back inside. Tackle well by Dunham. Balls come out. Touchdown to a knock on. And so Halifax will get the ball. Very scrappy opening period of the second half.
Time for a breather before the scrum goes down. Of some furious action in the opening minutes of the second half. Donlan taking the ball. Cummins marking him all the way, and Senior. Woods. Senior there again with a tackle, this time with Sinfield. Ball comes loose. That'll be a knock on.
Either it was a knock on, or he certainly didn't get anywhere near to his feet to play that ball. The tackle had barely been completed by Senior. So another opportunity for Leeds. This is Senior in centre field, steps inside, still going Senior, brought down by Dunham. Now the key for Leeds here is to complete this set of 6. This is Jamie Jones. He's up to within 15 metres, still going Jones, good running. Diskin finds Adamson. Nothing silly here from Leeds. Adamson driving towards the line, they're in good field position here, tackles to spare. Leeds need to keep their heads. Diskin finds Sheridan. Sheridan looking for the drop-off ball to Cummins. Cummins onto Senior. Senior looking to power his way to the line. He's caught just short. Great defence from the Blue Sox. Pratt finds Sheridan. They're up quickly. Sheridan comes back down that same side. Finds Pratt. Pratt going for the corner. Fires the ball back. Andy Hay takes it. And knocks on.
How did you see that? How did you see that?
So head and feed to Halifax.
Well, I feel very sorry for Andy Hay there, because he didn't appear to let go of it. And Robert Connolly suddenly developed bloody eagle eyesight. Beckett. Going to give the forwards a rest and get them and allow them to get into position. This is Gannon. Makes it almost up to the 20. Lawless straight at opposite number Diskin. Buchanan on the back of Lawless, so he can't get up and play it quickly. Thackeray takes one round the shoulder, said Robert Connolly. If that's round the shoulder, he mustn't have a neck. Dooleyman brings McMenemy on the inside. Defenders are there across. Leeds sliding over. And Matt Adamson are the Leeds tacklers. Clinch on the last tackle. Bounces off the back of McMenemy's head. Given the last tackle.
Unlucky there for McMenemy. He was just walking upfield, and a fantastic chase by Andy Hay. Credit the chase by Hay that rushed Clinch into the kick, and he kicked it straight into his own player's head. And so Leeds have the ball again inside Halifax. Had plenty of territory in this second half. They need to get some points for it. Sinfield offloads back to Diskin, onto Vowles, Vowles onto Chev Walker. Chev Walker tackled, 22 out. Vowles down the short side, finds Calderwood. Calderwood coming back behind his own players, into centre field, puts the gas down, still going Mark Calderwood. Mark Calderwood going for the line, and Mark Calderwood makes and scores a fantastic try for the Rhinos, and it's just what this team needed. They'd had plenty of territory in this second half, but nervous offloads were causing knock-ons and interceptions, and Calderwood picked that ball up on his own wing, came sprinting into centre field, put the gas down and pulled away from the defenders to score a crucial try for the Rhinos that takes them 6 points clear. Likewise, Danny Ward, he's looked very tired out there in spells. Danny Ward's done a lot of running, a lot of hard work, as Kevin Sinfield adds the extras, and Leeds extend their lead to 8 points. And Kevin Sinfield now, quick tap, finds Andy Hay. Andy Hay drives up to the 30-metre line. Shane McMenemy's hand comes in there. Shane McMenemy's hand coming in and dislodging the ball out of Andy Hay's grasp. Sinfield then will have a penalty attempt. He created the panic there in the Halifax ranks with his quick tap, found Andy Hay, and then the penalty coming straight on top of that. And Sinfield signals to the post, 30 metres out, to extend Leeds' lead to hopefully 10 points. Willie Poaching and Danny Maguire warming up on the touchline side. I wonder how long it'll be before Danny Maguire's introduced to this game. Scored 3 tries in his 2 appearances so far this year, the young halfback. And he'll certainly be looking to add to that if he can get on tonight. Sinfield now, 30 metres out. Looking to add the 2, and does indeed, and extends the lead to 20 points to 10 for the Rhinos. So Clinch will be looking for a better effort this time and goes a lot longer. Jamie Jones feels the kick, drives it out to the 10 metre line. Chev Walker in at dummy half, takes it himself. Ryan Bailey now into centre field, shrugs off the first tackle of Shane McMenemy. Eventually brought down by 2 others. This is Danny Ward. Ward, good angles of running, finds Francis Cummins. Forward pass given. Unlucky that for Ward, it was a great offload. Cummins took it behind him. Cheers from the Halifax fans, but very suspicious. Great offload by Ward. Cummins collected it at the second attempt. It would have almost in a certain try if he'd have been allowed to continue.
So Halifax a chance to attack, and they need to score very quickly to get themselves back into this game. Slipped away from them the last 5 minutes or so with Calderwood's second try and those 2 penalties. Put them 10 points behind and made the job all the more harder. Still about 20 minutes to go, the midway through this second half. Hobson driving onto the ball. Penkovic clings to Duneman. Halifax have runners on that far side. Donlan to Beckett. Not the best of passers. Beckett trying to get his foot to it. Halifax getting the ball out wide and creating a little bit of space, but unable to take advantage. The Leeds will have possession again.
That's more like it from Leeds in the first half. Big gaps were opening when balls like that were thrown out. They kept the line and forced the more dangerous pass out wide. This is Chev Walker. Duneman in on the tackle. Still going Chev Walker. Show great strength in the tackle. Sheridan finds Hay. Has Cummins outside him. Drives it up. Diskin now to Ward. Ward into centre field. Sinfield has Jones outside him. Takes it up himself. Offloads out the back door. Diskin picks up. Finds Bailey. Still going. Touch judge gave that one, even though Robert Connolly was less than 5 metres away. He went to the man on the touchline to decide it for him.
So Halifax with Duneman. Can't shake Cummins off. Good tackling from Francis Cummins. Halifax losing ground when they've got the ball. David Woods against Keith Senior. Senior winning that battle now. Hobson pumping the legs, gets him over the 40. Diskin's got his hand in there trying to pull the ball out. Hobson managing to keep hold. McMenemy to clinch. Lawless just overrunning the pass, and so Clinch is hammered to the ground and knocked back over the 40. And showing the finger to somebody. Here goes Duneman. Fowles coming out to meet him. Duneman trying his best. Last tackle. Woods will go on a kick and chase. Knocked out of his stride, but play on.
Well, players don't have to move out of other players' way. And Woods runs straight into Ryan Bailey there. Mark Calderwood looks to have picked up a bang in back play. Now Leeds have definitely stepped up a gear in the last 10 minutes. Some great defence, not least from the man with the ball in his hands now, Kevin Sinfield. Diskin to Bailey. Bailey driving it up. Pushing the man to the ground. Still going Ryan Bailey. Diskin now finds Ward. Ward dummies inside, then takes it up. Right. Hell of a lot of hard work put in by Danny Ward today. This is Sheridan kicking for the corner. Senior and Pratt are underneath it. Senior's there. Senior gets bumped out of the way.
Well, Woods hurt himself in his efforts to protect Halpenny there. Clayton tries to bring it away for the Blue Sox, who have been pushed back a lot by this Leeds attack. The last 10 minutes struggling to contain them. Now there's options if they can move the ball out wide. Woods, who was injured a minute ago, cuts back inside and meets Senior and Sheridan. Put him to the ground. Gannon throwing the dummy, driving the ball forward, trying to free the arms. Still going is Jim Gannon. Is finally all down just short of halfway. Duneman. Clinch brings Lawless back on the inside. Lawless unable to escape the clutches. Leeds have done well in defence against Halifax. Still 45 metres away from that Leeds line. Clinch goes to the air and manages to dodge the tackle.
Ball taken well by Carl Pratt. Carl Pratt sees the outside. He fancies it, still going Pratt. Pulls away. Great running there from Carl Pratt. Saw that Halpenny offered him the outside and decided to take it. Back to his own pace, Carl Pratt. This is Francis Cummins now. You can see like Leeds growing in confidence. The 10-point lead, crucial. Gives them that little bit of breathing space. This is Chev Walker, still going. Well tackled. Managed to get away from that initial tackle. Jamie Jones Buchanan now up to the 40-metre line. Tackled by Johnny Lawless. Sheridan goes for himself. Andy Hay picks up, finds Keith Senior. Well, the ball came flying out there from Ryan Sheridan, and again Robert Connolly dissolves responsibility over to his touch judge. Again, it was much further away from where the referee was.
David Woods has succumbed to the pain and left the field to be replaced by Jamie Bloom. Duderman to Donlan, unable to find an opening in this Leeds defence into the last 15 minutes. Halifax needing something special. We've failed to threaten that Leeds line for a long time. Lawless charging onto it. Walker manages to keep hold of him till Calderwood gets there. Clinch out to Duneman. Senior's moved out into the line. Halpenny palms it onto Bloom, who's gone out onto the wing. Bloom fancied himself against Senior, then tries to get the ball inside, but only gives it to Sheridan.
Keith Senior involved in an alternation with Jamie Bloom. Leeds have the ball. Bloom not liking the fact that he was dragged into touch. He's always been a fiery character against Leeds, Jamie Bloom. Referee decides handbags at 5 paces. So Leeds have the ball on the halfway line. Carl Pratt driving it up. Danny Ward now. Good running from Ward. Diskin at dummy half. Goes to the open side with Sheridan onto Sinfield. Sinfield dummies to Jamie Jones and takes the tackle himself. Ryan Bailey now. Pushes out the tackle of Gavin Clinch. Still going Bailey. What a tremendous young prospect this man is. Only his 3rd senior game, but looks like a seasoned pro. Adrian Bowers can't handle that pass, too hot for him, and so it's a handover to the Blue Sox.
Perhaps the case of too many cooks there for Leeds. There were 2 players after that ball. But Halifax are still pen deep in their own half. It's going to take quite an effort to get to the other end of the field as Bloom goes from acting half. Wants to get up and play it quickly. Now Andy Hobson driving the legs forward. Buchanan hanging on to bring him down. Clinch uses the blind side, then brings back Duneman into the open side. Buchanan again with the tackle. Halifax have got the penalty. Duneman wastes no time in getting on with it and taking the quick tap and driving Halifax into the Leeds 40. And Sinfield slows the play down. Clinch over the top to McMenemy. McMenemy brings Halpenny back on the inside. Alpenny well tackled by Vowles. Bloom from acting half. Tries to go underneath the tackle of Andy here. Vowles there again. Clinch out to Duneman. Duneman not throwing the pass, cutting inside, but drawing the Leeds defence to him. This is the nearest Halifax have been in a long time to that Leeds line. As Gannon gets to within 10 metres, then unloads the pass. Donnellan's turned upside down. Clinch gives it to Beckett. Beckett can't hang on to, well, he can hang on to it the second attempt. Halifax with a power play on the last tackle, but the ball goes to ground. Halifax reaching panic stages now with just over 10 minutes to go, but the closest they've been to that Leeds line for a long time.
So, they're going to get another chance as Mark Calderwood's caught in front of his own line, dragged back in goal, and so it quickly turns back in the favour of Halifax.
Well, this time Robert Connolly has actually stopped the clock. Leeds messing about with the ball at the back of the post, sucking in lungfuls of air, no doubt, after that Halifax pressure. Well, if Halifax can pull 6 points out of this one, it's going to make the last 10 minutes or so very interesting, but they've got to do it from halfway with McMenemy the first run. Managed to knock the first two off. Then there's messing about at the play of the ball. Francis Cummins being spoken to, despite the lack of penalties in the second half. He's opted to pull the Leeds captain out and have a word with him. Obson throws himself into the tackle from Buchanan. Benkovic acting after Lawless. Good ball from Lawless to Clayton. But again, Leeds defenders moving in numbers. Clinch. Birchall, the dummy runner. Duneman spills it up. Leeds on the counter-attack here.
Senior coming out from his own 20-metre area. Good hands by Andy Hay to collect the knock-on and get the ball away. This is Adrian Vowles. Ryan Bailey now. Just lost the pace off his run there as he came in. Diskin finds Ward. Ward up over the halfway line. Diskin now finds Hay. Hay dummies to Senior. Leeds doing a lot of hard graft, moving upfield. Pratt now, it's the last tackle, kicks to the corner. Calderwood's chasing it. It's just going to run too short for him. Ball's come out though. Chev Walker gets a foot on it, and that'll be the advantage gone, will it? No. Leeds will get head and feed. On the 10. Well, fantastic chase and tackle by Mark Calder. It looked like it was just a bit too long, but he timed his tackle to perfection. Big hit went in, ball popped out. So Danny Maguire on for the Rhinos. Kevin Sinfield going into the pack. This is Maguire, first touch. Drops the ball off for Francis Cummins. He's over the 10-metre line. Leeds be looking to come away for a try here. Vowles to Sheridan. Sheridan onto Sinfield. Sinfield will score. A crucial score for the Rhinos. Great pass from Sheridan. Fantastic line of running by Sinfield. And he dives over for the try. And to extend the Rhinos' lead to 24 points to 10. Looking to extend the Rhinos' lead to 16 points. He does indeed, as Danny Ward goes off in back play for a well-earned rest. And a massive game, Danny Ward. Matt Adamson back on. Gavin Clinch and Robert Connolly share a joke just before the kick-off. And Clinch then gets the game back underway. Fielded by Sheridan. Finds Jamie Jones, Buchanan, who's had a big game since coming on. Done a lot of work on attack. This is Ryan Bailey. Still going, Bailey. Gets the ball out wide to Pratt. Pratt against Clinch. Clinch tries to give it a tap. Inside ball to Keith Senior. Keith Senior going for the line. Keith Senior will score. Little bit of afters there from 18, Sean Penkovic, who trying to run into Senior once he'd scored. Referee spotted it. But absolutely sensational stuff from the Rhinos there, from well inside their own 10 metres. Jamie Jones, Buchanan onto Ryan Bailey. The real presence of mind from Bailey. Got the ball away to Pratt. He raced upfield. Could have possibly made it on his own. Got the ball, beat the man with the pass into Senior, and Senior scored underneath the posts. Fantastic stuff from the Rhinos. Sinfield to add the extras, and Leeds go to a 32 points to 10 lead. Well, it really has been a different look to the Rhinos side in this second half. They led for large quarters of the first half, but were pegged back to 10-all. It looked like the problems that they'd been suffering from were going to continue. Mark Caldwell lets that bounce into touch, and so it'll be a goal line dropout, letting the ball bounced over his head, and so Halifax will get a chance to come back at Leeds.
Well, not much chance. There's still about 5 minutes to go. But Halifax have been able to handle Leeds in the second half as they did in the first. Ryan Clayton takes the ball back into the Leeds 40. John Lawless running on strongly. Takes it up to the 20. Halifax perhaps looking to have the final say in this game. Birchill, good ball to Flowers, but Flowers unable, as most of the Halifax team have this second half, to break down this Leeds defence. Clinch skips round, poaching went for Dunham and even didn't get the pass, which was the confusion that Clinch caused. Dunham to Hobson. Hobson pumping the legs towards the post, and he's brought down a metre away. Penkovic goes for the kick, comes off the side of the boot, and Halifax wastes the best chance they've had of this second half.
Adamson kept his cool there, kept his concentration and came away with the ball. This is Willie poaching. Adrian Vowles at dummy half. Carl Pratt taking it upfield. He's had a big second half in a big game. Carl Pratt played well. This is Ryan Bailey, straight through the middle. McMenemy does well to pull him down. Finds Senior. Senior has Pratt outside him. Pratt gets away from the first tackle. Has Halpenny chased him. Kicks through. Francis Cummins is there. He needs to dive on it and score. He doesn't. He picks up and touches down underneath the post. Great kick from Carl Pratt. 2 Leeds tries coming from Carl Pratt's kicks today. The first one to the corner for Calderwood to collect, and that one there, inch perfect for his captain Francis Cummins, who picked it up just short of the line and ran over to touch it down underneath the post. And the Rhinos have confirmed their victory at the Shea today. Pulled away in this second half. Now scored 26 unanswered points. As Kevin Sinfield adds the conversion. One minute left in the game as Gavin Clinch kicks off. Ryan Sheridan tries to control the ball with his boot. Bounces over the top of that. And you can just see the relief on the face of the Rhinos. Ryan Sheridan sharing a joke with his teammates It really has been a monkey on their back in recent weeks. The performances and the results not up to scratch by their own admission. But today, especially in the second half, after doing the hard work in the first 40, they've pulled away, scored some great team tries, and have got themselves those vital 2 points. This is Lawless, looking to finish off on a high for the Blue Sox.
Hobson claiming the penalty, claiming that Leeds were trying to slow it down. McMenemy. Good tackle around the ankles from Maguire. Duneman to Birchill, almost taking Duneman with him there as he went for the gap. Flinge to Duneman. Skips round one, gets the return to Flinge. Flinge looking for the support. It's Ryan Clayton that gets there. And Clayton turned over 7 metres away from the Leeds line on the last tackle. Duneman goes for the kick across field, which finished up to nobody's advantage, and Leeds dominating the second half, 28 points. After being level at half time, it looked as though Halifax might be able to push Leeds, but for once the effort was just too much, and gradually as the second half progressed, Halifax were being pushed further and further back, and then Leeds let rip with 28 points in the second half, most of them coming from Kevin Sinfield, Calderwood with his second try, Carl Pratt Senior, Francis Cummins, shed load of goals from Francis Cummins after he missed some in the first half. Disappointing from the Blue Sox after an encouraging first 40 minutes. At the share is Halifax Blue Sox 10, Leeds Rhinos 38.
Away, fellas, away! Come on!
Go, come here.
On the right, Rocky, on the right, Rocky, on the right, Rocky. Come on,